I'm going to take a little bit of liberty this morning and do a sort of unusual sermon, just because you don't know who I am. In fact, maybe you might like to know who I am. And, excuse me just a minute here. I don't know where that is, so I'll just leave it there. I just want to keep track of my time because a lot of preachers, we can kind of go on and on, so I don't want to do that. But anyway, I wanted to start with just giving my thanks for being here with you, and thanks to all the folks who came yesterday morning and who were patient on Friday afternoon when I kept calling Dawn to say, our ETA is later, and then an hour, it's going to be another hour later, and then we got the bright idea to do it on Saturday morning, which is great. We had at least 12, I think, maybe more, people bringing things in and helping me unpack and taking care of things, and even my shoe racks were put together. The shoes were on the rack that rocked. What a wonderful, wonderful welcome. Wonderful welcome. Even got a pot of potato chowder for lunch in a big crock pot. Wonderful. And I should say, give a thanks to, I don't know, you probably don't know that former pastor left something very special in the parsonage. I will share that more about that with you later, but it is a parsonage table with 4 chairs and great leaves, and you'll be invited over so you can see it at some point. That has been used in several parsonages across the country, and in seminary, for I believe seminary students and pastors' children have used it to study. So it has great history, and I'm so delighted that our wonderful young men took the time and great effort to haul it up the stairs, to take it apart and haul it up the stairs, so that I can have this lovely table of welcome to anyone who visits. So thank you. Being in this setting is like coming home to me in ministry. Before I went to seminary, I worked at 2 churches as a layperson for 4 years, working. The first position was youth and music director in a big city church in Peoria, Illinois. And my second congregation was in a more rural setting, Montevideo, Minnesota, where I was a parish worker and was called to preach every 6 weeks and worship and work with youth and education and some visitation, and really got some wonderful experience before I went to seminary. My first call with my husband as an ordained folk. He's also a pastor, Michael Miller, spelled Mueller. Anyway, we were called to a 3-point parish in rural South Dakota, as teeny as you can get, 220 people or something in the town that we lived in, Carthage. And we had a 56-mile round trip on Sunday mornings, and one of us would preach at 2 congregations and the other at the other, and then we'd flip-flop. But the wonderful, wonderful spirit and what community that was present in those congregations is here tenfold. It's wonderful to be kind of home again. So I know that some of you are farmers, some are not. I'm used to that. I've seen lambs being born and calves being born. I was pregnant with our first child, and one of our farmers had invited us out for a calf birth, and she said, "Well, we might have to use the calf puller on the cow, and maybe you," and it sort of had that happen later for my first birth, but anyway, little pigs, and it's just wonderful. The parsonage is fantastic. I thank you so much for the care and grace and love that is evidenced in it, in your care of it, and that means a lot to me as pastor. And I hope to the pastor that will come after me. So I grew up in St. Peter, Minnesota, and my parents taught at Gustavus Adolphus College there. It's one of our ELCA colleges, liberal arts of Swedish heritage. Now, in another way, I'm coming home because this is a Swiss area and Baumgartner is Swiss. My father grew up in Bern, Indiana, and he told me that there is a pastor in the area at a Reformed church that is from his home congregation in Bern, so I have to look him up. Anyway, both my parents are concert pianists. I have a short between my brain and my fingers, so I will leave that to our capable musicians. But I'm a singer, and my undergrad degree was in vocal music education at Norwegian College, an hour away, St. Olaf. So I consider myself Scandinavian by osmosis. So that also feels like coming home. Let's see, I am the second of 5 children, and we are all musical in some way or other. Some of us play piano more efficiently and beautifully than others, and I play enough to do choir rehearsal and enjoy that. It's very much a part of my spirituality, and I really appreciate what you talked about. Music is the language of the soul. It really is. It's beautiful, and I'm delighted for that because my parents have 2 of those in their living room because they are a duo and pianists and piano duets. So they are 90, almost 90, and 86, and still playing. And if I can get them, I'd love to be able to bring them to play for you. Not promising, but maybe that would work. So let's see then. My older sister is a pastor. Could I ask a favor of one of you who could get me a glass of water? Please, I'm a little dry. Thank you. My younger sister is married to a full-blooded Norwegian American who's a pastor. And my husband is a pastor, so there are 4 of us in our generation. My husband is serving at West Allis as an interim. It just started last Tuesday. I'm kind of going all over the place, I'm sorry. I'll try not to do that next week. Just trying to cover the major bases. So we started out ministry in South Dakota, in Carthage, which is, you have Huron, we have Brookings and Sioux Falls, and Huron and Mitchell. We were about here. So we were about 40 miles away from populations that we're at 12,000 or so. So this feels very comfortable to me. Our second call was a shared call in Madison, Wisconsin, at St. John's on East Washington. And then during that time, our 2 daughters were born at Meriter. And then I took some time out to parent, and my husband was called to ministry in Ashigan, Wisconsin, which is north of Oconomowoc, between Milwaukee and Madison. And then I was actually, soon after we moved there, approached by a neighboring pastor to see if I would do some contract ministry for them. So for 3 years, I worked with families with young children, especially doing mother's group and play group and Bible study and vacation Bible school. I love vacation Bible school. Thank you. You are wonderful. Thank you, Lauren. And thank you for wearing your name tags, by the way. I'm pretty good at names, but it's really helpful to have that reminder. And I think it's welcoming not only for me, it's welcoming to you, because even though you might know each other, you might forget too, so then that's easy to see. But I'm not afraid to ask, So then to this, my children, I should tell you about that a little bit more. Peter is 27. He was born in Carthage, or Huron. Emma is 24, and slow down, girl. Emma is 24, and I'll go back to Peter. Peter lives in Racine, and he just started a new job as a trucker doing hazardous waste removal. He is an artist, he's a potter, but he needs to feed himself. Emma is living in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. She's working at Lucky's Food Market, which is kind of a Whole Foods, I think, sort of grocery. And my youngest, Rachel, is a senior at Gustavus Adolphus College, studying English with an emphasis in creative writing. And you'll get to meet her and her cousin Annika, the Norwegian niece of mine. They'll be here on our annual meeting weekend. It's their touring week break. Let's see, anything else? Anything else you'd like to know? You don't be shy. I'll be doing that kind of often, actually. I like to do interactive sermons, so if you're quiet for a while, that's fine. I'll just keep asking. I love to sing. I don't want to blast you out by the microphone being on when I'm singing, so if I forget to turn off the microphone, let me know. I love to knit. I would love it to be able to join a knitting guild. I weave baskets, but I've left all of my basket things at home because it's time to knit. We'll have more time to learn more about me as we go together, but I do want to touch a little bit about the text for today. But first I should do this. Okay. So, abundance. I experienced abundance already this weekend. The minute we drove into the driveway, Michael had taken the southern route straight west across from Racine, and I went through Milwaukee and Madison, and Dawn texted, "Are you hungry?" So we went to the Irish pub in Hollandale and had dinner, and got treated by two couples for dinner. I mean, how does one is going to pay and then another one does it secretly? Wonderful. That's so wonderful. That can happen in the city. And then the wonderful spirits and generosity and love that were shared with my husband and me is in the unpacking and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's just, this is an abundant spirited place, I can tell already, and I'm so delighted to be here. When we are in the midst of challenges, sometimes it's very easy to look inward and become crabby. Now, I know that we'll become crabby. I know that that's just life. But you have something very wonderful going on for you, because in spite of that, in the midst of being in change and in limbo and in the wilderness, you're able to see you're forward directed, you're other directed, and I can tell that's not something you just put on for me. You wear it. You wear that robe of generosity and love. I can tell that, and I'm so delighted to be able to walk with you in that. Mary knew something about generosity and compassion, and can't you just hear her? What did she sound like when she said, "Oh, they don't have any wine"? I couldn't help myself. I had to say it that way. We're out of wine. What are we going to do? She had to be one heck of a woman to be a mother to Jesus. And what did he say to her? I can guess he might have rolled his eyes. Mother. What does that matter to us? Mary was Jesus' teacher. She needed to remind him that the sacred is present in the ordinary. She reminded him to be compassionate for the community. And so what did she say? Do whatever he tells you. Did Jesus have an option to say no to his mother? I don't think so. But I think he knew, Mom. I mean, he responded right away. And her faith, her trust that something fantastic was going to happen is amazing, isn't it? How did she know that? She hadn't done anything special before. She trusted in those words. This is your son, and you shall call him Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus needed his mother to remind him. Now, does that sound familiar to any of you? The most wonderful thing in the world, I love it when my son says, "Mom, I have to tell you something. You're right." Sometimes moms know a lot, sometimes we don't. But Mary, thank goodness for Mary, who knew when to push Jesus because this was his first miracle, this was his first sign that he did amongst the people. And he needed a little push. It reminds us that Jesus is accessible to us. Jesus listens to us. Jesus is for us and seeks abundant life for us. And Jesus is one who can be trusted to support us in the very most ordinary of things. Whether that be having a job start, wow, that's maybe not such a small thing. Maybe it is to be calm and relaxed before going into surgery, or to have the anesthesia work well, or to have someone remember to smile at me, or to say a kind word to me, or whether or not I'm going to be able to pay the rent, or what the crop is going to be like, or what the price is going to be like for most of the farmers here are mostly dairy or not. What do we have? I know there's a dairy, there's a meat, there's at least one. What other kind of farming do we do here?
Crop farming.
Crop? What kinds of crops? Soybeans? Corn? Wheat? Anything more? I'll learn more about that as we're together with each other. God cares about all that stuff. And one of the things I remember about our folks in South Dakota is that there was a deep spirituality that was tied to land, and a deep spirituality that was tied to trust. That God is closely, directly active in that whole farming process. You gotta trust, right? There's a lot of things out of your control. But there's something, I don't know, really precious about that trust that develops for folks who work with the land and listen to the trees and the birds and the air and watch the clouds for the storms, all that kind of stuff. Yes? Oh, maybe that was my reminder. I'm kind of going on a little bit. Anyway, God cares about all those things, and God cares a whole lot that you are in the midst of transition. And I want to just remind us that conflict, if we have it, you don't have it here, right? Conflict can be the most creative pathway into new life. So we should not be afraid of it. How many of us are afraid of it? Oh, well, it can be a scary thing. It is the most creative pathway to new life. So we're going to face that stuff together and be partners, okay? All right, so I'm lathered on enough, I think. God is in the midst of us here. God goes with you as you go and do your work and carry out your every day in school, at the playground, in plowing the snow, planning for the crop, working in Madison, all the things that you do. God is present and loves you to death and beyond. Amen.